Good afternoon, traders. This is Brad Matheny. Today is the 6th of January, 2024, and this is your gold, silver, and metals video. This is a gold chart. We're going to briefly go over gold and silver and understand that we are moving into an extended phase. Let me drag this back a little bit. This is the weekly chart. Drag this down. We're moving into an extended upward drift into the presidential election cycle of 2024. Gold and silver will continue to react to fear and hedging that's taking place throughout the world. I expect gold to see a move up above 2250 probably before the first half of the year. We're very close to kind of getting a big breakout move here. Maybe in February, March, April, we'll see a big advance, kind of like we saw here. Good, solid 5, 6, 7 weeks. Moved us from about 1860 to up above 2130. That was a very big move, and it's a very solid upward trend. The next move here for gold is a move up above 2250, which will put us here at about a 10.25% rally. And that will be a very solid rally up above this green line right here. Let me get rid of it. This green line right here. This is the next Fibonacci price amplitude arc. And as you can see, if we point over here, try to get a price bar. I have so many lines on here. There we go. I'll try to move that up in front. We're going to see a move up above this next Fibonacci price amplitude arc, then an acceleration up into the 2250 area. Now, my expectations are that it's going to happen around February, March, but it could happen sooner if there's some contagion event that takes and rattles the markets a bit. We're still getting, news out of China. Shadow banking industries are collapsing, and debt and credit are still an issue. Without the recovery in the Chinese real estate market and economy, we could see extended pressure in the global markets, but we're waiting for that next impulse move. The next wave up in gold is likely to be a 2 or 3 wave function up into this higher area here, which would be about, let me drag this down, about 2450. But first we're going to get to that 2250, stall, rotate a bit higher, and then move into that 2450, which will be up in this area right up here. Then we're going to move into stalling. Now, that's probably going to be right before the election. Okay, the election itself, the week or two around the presidential election, could be quite interesting for gold and silver. But I believe we're going to move into a late 2024 rally, carrying into 2025, which is going to push gold up above 2550, 2600, and eventually out in the mid 2025 area. It'll push out of the 2550 range and up into the 2750, 2850, moving, decidedly higher. And remember, that's about a $700 or $800 advance from where we are right now. That's about $1,000 advance from where we were back here in October. Very big move coming for metals. A lot of people don't see it yet, but this is a good accumulation. I call it a stealth accumulation mode for gold and silver. We're going to get some pretty explosive moves, I think, in 2024 and especially in 2025. Okay, let's take a look here at silver real quick. Silver is following gold quite nicely. US dollar rubles. That's not it. There we go. Silver. Okay, shrink it down. Silver is consolidating back into this flagging formation, and the gold to silver ratio really, silver's not going to start to really accelerate until gold makes a pretty good sized move to the upside, probably up above 24,000-2500 before silver really starts to accumulate higher. Now, I expect silver, as you can see here on this chart, to rally up above the 30 to 31, maybe 32 area fairly quickly, but that's probably going to come when gold moves above 2450. Then silver's going to move in a very aggressive move to try to catch up to the move in gold. So the next real target for silver is this $31, $32 area, right in this area, then up into this $42, $43 area, stalling back out as we move back into the election again. And this is roughly what I kind of think is going to happen to silver through the election cycle, eventually moving higher. We pretty much got to break away from, as you can see, this channel here, carry this out, and this channel here, carry this out. We've got to move away from this consolidated topping channel here, which we have yet to do. Silver needs a good breakaway rally above 26, 27 to really start to move up into this 31, 32 area. And like I said, gold's going to have to make a move in order for silver to probably do that. And that's really what we're looking for. Now let's get over to the custom index charts. The gold cycle index is still showing very moderate accumulation in metals, meaning that we're in a stealth accumulation mode. The gold has been moving consistently higher for years, but we're not seeing this big fear cycle yet set up. And we will likely see it begin to set up closer to the election. So expect another maybe 6-7 months of this, what I call stealth accumulation mode in metals. Very, very good for you to accumulate physical and or positions in gold and silver and potentially even platinum going forward. Next, we have the U.S. To global index. This is something I wanted to highlight because we're getting a very big rollover in the U.S. market, moderate rollover in the global index. The global index has continued to move downward over the last roughly 6.5 months. This is a sign of global weakness, and again, a euphoric peak setting up right here before the end of 2023. Very similar to this type of a peak and or this type of a peak in late 2018 before we just collapsed back here to the downside. Now, I would argue that if we move above these peaks here in the global index, then the U.S. market's going to continue to rally and enter another euphoric phase. If we fail to move above these levels from where we're at right now, then the U.S. market should move back into this middle channel area, right back over in here, possibly near the October lows, maybe a little deeper into the May, June, July, August of 2024 area. So be aware that my rotational expectations to the downside could put a lot of pressure on metals. Remember, if the markets start to tank, metals will tank with it briefly. That happens fairly regularly. If the entire market really starts to tank, you'll watch metals drop 7, 8, maybe 10 or 11%, and then they'll base, and within a 4, 5, 6 week period, they will recover back to where they were as fear sets up and people start moving into metals to protect assets. So be aware, we could see a pretty strong decline in early 2024. Okay, the U.S. Valuation Trend Index has rolled back downward. I highlighted this last week. I believe the U.S. markets have reached a euphoric phase. I don't believe these levels will hold. I think we're coming back down into these mid levels, which will be right around this 3.0 level. I think this is where we're going to find the market struggling to establish a base in early 2024. I don't believe that base will be set until after July 2024, possibly just before the election. So be aware, we've got, in my opinion, general weakness in the U.S. markets for the next 6.5, 7.5 months. The gold trend index is indicating moderate price consolidation here early in December. We would obviously like to see this rally, but we're not seeing that big rally yet. It may come in January, February, like I said, up to 2250 in gold. That would put us up near this 14,000 level on this chart. We just need to be patient. Right now, gold, the weakness in gold is nominal. Bullish strength is dominant, and I believe we're going to see a pretty solid move up above 2250, probably before March. The standard deviation channel cycle is rolling off of this deep low, which is the end of the December 2023 low here. This is January. We're looking to try to find support in this area and rally back up is what I would expect to happen here. Rebuilding support off of this rotation of the apex here. Again, we're looking for gold to build a new base. It's already rallied sufficiently to establish the next leg higher, meaning we've completed another leg higher. Now we're kind of basing, consolidating, and building for the next leg higher, which will put us again above 2250. The metals valuation cycle chart looks very similar, consolidated. I thought we might see some follow through, but no, not with the markets performing the way they did with the euphoric high. This has really taken some steam out of metals, but we're back into the apex area. I believe we're going to hold up quite well and move back to the upside here by January, February, March, and be looking at the 2250 area. Now, as we move forward, custom metals valuation index, again, consolidating, looks very similar to the standard deviation index. Looking to try to break this Fibonacci price amplitude arc to the upside. Just be patient, folks. It's coming. It's just going to take some time, and the presidential election year can be quite exciting. There can be a lot of information and dirt and volatile price moves. Okay, gold price index. This is my custom gold cycle patterns. We're looking at a breakaway and a bullish trend. Notice short-term trend is indicating warning, meaning we've got some rotation taking place. We've got a breakaway on Monday. We've got a rally on Tuesday. We've got nothing on the 10th. We've got a temporary bottom on the 11th and a top resistance on Friday. This is a pretty good rally week, folks. Then we get consolidation, crush, reversal rally. This would indicate we consolidate on the 15th. We possibly move downward on the 16th, and then we move back to the upside on the 17th, looking to see a reversal rally and resuming an upward trend. So the next couple weeks looks very good for upward trending with gold. The custom metals index weekly is consolidating as I showed you here. This looks very good right now. We're forming a good solid channel to the upside. Let's see how this holds up. If we do break down, we're going to be looking down in this area, which is about a, do the math real quick, this is about a 5 to 7% downside move, roughly right into this area. U.S. stock market index reached this upper channel, rolled downward quite excessively. This is a downward move, which could send metals consolidating downward a bit, likely because we're going to see the market unwind some of this euphoric peak area here, possibly moving back down into this lower support area in where I'm pointing right here, 1160. That would move us back down to roughly the September-October low area. Not quite this area, although eventually we'll get down to this area in 2024, I believe, probably late 2024. Initially, we're going to see an unwinding that will probably take us into this area by March or April. So be aware, the downward cycle trend of the markets is likely going to continue unwinding. Now, as you can see here, the volatility index is moving down quite extensively. We're getting this rollover top. I kept warning you through this. This was a very solid topping pattern, very overbought, extremely overbought, up above 20. Never seen a 20 before. This has been a very exciting rally. But as you can see, we're now dipping quite extensively, a much lower open. We closed up here last week. We opened over here so we closed over here the end of the year, 2023. We opened down here at the beginning of 2024, and we were decidedly downward all week. Lower low, lower high, lower close, lower open. So we have a scenario here where we could see a very sharp decline over the next 4, 5, 6 weeks in the markets. We could wipe out, honestly, 10, 11% very quickly in the U.S. markets as we head downward. So again, be aware, we're in a very consolidated period, which is why I keep telling you to protect your capital, wait for the opportunities. This is really a great day trader's market if you're able to stay on top of it. But if you're an investor and you're trying to navigate this world right now, follow my allocation levels and wait for the market to give you the opportunities to buy in at deeper lows. All right, I believe that's it. We'll see you soon. And again, gold is a long-term play. Silver is a long-term play. The real big moves won't happen until 2025, 26, 27, and 28. And 27 and 28 are going to be very explosive. So you still have quite a bit of time to position, load up, and determine how you want to hedge effectively in metals. Once you see the moves start to take place in 27 and 28, it's going to amaze you. All right, guys, that's it for now.